scaling is a maths term meaning enlarging something but keeping the same shape. So we actually use scaling for all of the props, costumes and sets for Hagrid. Hello, welcome to the filmmaking home of the Harry Potter film series. I'm Julie, part of the learning team here at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, The Making of Harry Potter. And I'm here today to share some behind the scenes secrets with you and the work that goes into making the amazing sets, props and costumes that you can see behind me. Today, I'm in Hagrid's hut. Hagrid is a half giant, so he's obviously much bigger than the other characters. We actually had two actors to play Hagrid. We had Robbie Coltrane, who is the face and voice of Hagrid, but for the full-size half-giant Hagrid, we had a body double, a man called Martin Bayfield. Now, Martin is a rugby player, and he is 6'10" tall. Just to give you an idea, Robbie is 6'2", so there's a big height difference between the two. One of the techniques we used to create our half-giant sized Hagrid was scaling. Now, scaling is a maths term meaning enlarging something but keeping the same shape. So we actually use scaling for all of the props, costumes and sets for Hagrid. We actually built two sets for Hagrid. We had one like this size, which is 100% size, and then a smaller version that was 20% smaller, 80% of the actual size of this hut that you can see behind me. So in the larger hut, we would film the child actors so that they look smaller in the set and in the oversized furniture and holding the oversized props. And then for any scenes where we were filming Hagrid, we would use the 20% smaller hut to make him look even bigger in the frame. In order to make sure that every element is the correct size, we have a team of draftspeople whose job it is to create plans and elevations for all of our film sets. Now, we had to create 588 film sets for the Harry Potter film series, so they were very busy. Now, for Hagrid's hut in particular, we use these plans and elevations to help us understand the scale factor of the size of the buildings. So you can see here we've got some plans and elevations. These are showing the elevations on the top of the drawing and the plans on the bottom. And you might just be able to make out the scale factor here. The scale factor for this set of plans and elevations is 1/4 inch to 1 foot. So that means that 1/4 inch on the drawing represents a foot when we build the set for real. So if we have an inch on the drawing, that would be 4 feet. So you can see how we use scale factor to scale up Hagrid's hut. White card model structures are then created using the plans and elevations to create the right specification. The director and the heads of department will inspect and then use these models to help bring the set to life. The same math skills are needed to create Hagrid's costume. Because we had two actors playing Hagrid, we needed two separate costumes, one smaller version for Robbie and one 20% bigger for Martin Bayfield. This meant that every detail of the costume had to be 20% bigger, including any buttons, any rips or tears or features that might be noticeable. Here we have replicas of Harry's birthday cake that he receives in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. You can see they're also in two sizes. This would be the one that Hagrid would pass over to Harry. You can see it's smaller, so it would make him look bigger in the frame. And then we would cut to Harry receiving the bigger cake, making him look smaller in comparison. We hope you've enjoyed finding out a little bit more about filmmaking and how we use maths to help create our sets, props and costumes.